Live.
Hey, we're live.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Rainy Thursday night.
We hope everyone's staying home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you're safe inside
Kung may
your...
kuryente kayo, kung may internet kayo, tell the people to join in.
Yeah. Wag nyo nang i-post publicly. Wag nyo gayaan si ano.
Sino,
Yung
Emil?
isa.
Sinong wag gagayahin? Pangalanan natin. Baka kako may feelings ka eh. Pangalanan na natin. Dami mo feelings eh.
That was the first thing I saw when I woke up on Wednesday. It pissed me off.
Ano nga yun, Emil? Wag naman inside joke. Ano tayo? Mga DJ na puro inside jokes lang ang binabanggit on air.
Si Rosmar. I already named her. Like, sobrang nainis ako doon sa post niya.
Yun pala. Kala ko yung isang yung isang niyayamanin na laging may keber kapag may bagyo.
Yeah.
Doc G, Ninang Abby. Glad to
Hello.
hear that y'all are safe and dry.
Hey. Hello, guys.
It's kind of cold.
It is, actually. Hey, Alan, what's up?
Si Ninang Abby, maaga nakauwi oh. Happy siguro. I don't know if you guys are still on Twitter, kung tambay pa rin kayo doon, but I really hate their new explore function. Sobrang bad trip siya. Like, if you watch TV or movies, masaspoil ka na eh. Hindi siya tulad ng dati na kunwari, pangalan lang lalabas. Kunwari, Spider-Man. Okay, may bagong Spider-Man movie. Siyempre, Spider-Man yung trending topic, di ba? Ito puta, nanonood ako ng Survivor, yung boot mismo nilagay na doon sa explore eh. Topic na siya, puta. Kakainis.
Yeah. God damn. Twitter sucks.
Elon
That's
Musk
why I
patalo
really, when I'm trying to like not be spoiled, I just avoid social media altogether.
Wala eh. Kailangan natin i-promote yung podcast, Emil eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair complaint. Neil, what's up?
Hello, Neil. Work from home pala si Ninang Abby.
Ayan.
Reddit Regal also joining us by YouTube.
Yeah.
Grabe. Grabe ulan. Y'all better be working from home.
I do wonder, even yung mga bangko kaya, like, may pag mga ganito ba?
Meron, pero early out at some point.
Ninang Abby.
Nanay ko taga-bangko, sinabi niya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, may pasok pa rin, pero at some point, pinauwi na sila. Kanina mga 3:00, uwi na mami ko.
Neil is in traffic? Thank you, man.
Damn. Sorry to hear that, brother.
But thank you for keeping us with you.
Yeah. You can say that, Lance.
Let's not be... Parang hindi nanood ng Parasite eh.
Lance, when did you change your name to Cat?
What up, Julian?
Yes, Abby, I think the Bicol branches are still closed today and I think tomorrow. As far as I know. All right, 10 seconds. Let's go.
I'm the best wrestler in the world. My name is Collar Cash Money Cannon.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
What do we want to talk about?
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I'm home.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Amen. He appeared.
Hello, my name is Ina Dragunov.
It's LA Knight's game. Yeah.
My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
She's on me, bitch.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
You have a father, but your father's dead.
G'day everyone, TMDK Sniper of the Skies, Robbie Eagles here.
Mountains in! Yeah.
And you're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Hey. Stancy, Romaran, and Emil Nate all checking in for this week's live stream. Si Chino nandito rin pero parang pinadakip siya ng politiko. Wait, di pala siya yung nag-call out ng politiko.
This is Emil Nate's fault.
Oh.
It's all his fault.
May kinall out ka kasi Emil eh. I mean, I know that yung person yun karapat-dapat na makatanggap ng dunking, but like, you gotta do it on a live stream day, really? Kung kailan sobrang alat ng weather, good job, Emil Nate. War freak to eh, pucha. Anyway, we hope everybody is staying safe and dry. If you're listening to the podcast, sana safe kayo, sana yung family nyo safe din. Sana either nakauwi kayo or work from home kayo or di kayo pinagtrabaho on site today. But for everyone else na medyo minalas, not as fortunate as everyone else na work from home, our hearts are with you. We do know na maraming mga initiatives right now where people are donating and put together sila ng mga relief efforts. So the Angat Buhay Foundation, for one, is accepting donations pa rin. I know that Attorney Lenny Robredo has been coordinating efforts ever since Typhoon Kristine first started wreaking havoc on Albay and then on Metro Manila and all these surrounding areas as well. So, we know what the Angat Buhay Foundation has done, how transparent they've been over the years. So, that's the first place we can recommend you guys to if you want to donate. Kung meron kayong spare from whatever cash or goods or food or clothes or whatever in kind you have to spare for yung mga kababayan nating nangangailangan. All right? So, just prayers up for everyone na nangangailangan, and if you can donate, please do. All right?
Okay. Can I add something here?
Of course.
As someone who is from Naga, please keep the Bicol region in your thoughts and your prayers. Right? Madalas naman kami tiyataman ng bagyo, but this is something that we have never ever gone through. So yun, and yun nga, like Stan is saying, there are a lot of relief efforts. So kung makatulong kayo, we would appreciate it. Again, so yun lang. Salamat sa mga tumulong, salamat sa mga nag-donate pala, and for the Bicolanos, makabangon man kita from this disaster.
And my message is, if you are safe and sound at home and dry and cool, keep it to yourselves, guys. We don't need to know. We don't need to know unless you are dying or flooded, because that's insensitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, hindi rin namin alam kung tuloy yung quiz night bukas. But just in case tuloy yung quiz night bukas, let's put up the graphic and let people know that we are organizing a Halloween quiz night together with our good friend Childman, aka Dino Imperial, aka Dizzy Savage. So this is happening sa Hobby Stadium, hopefully tomorrow, October 25 at 7 p.m. Yung tickets natin will be at 500 pesos for the regular tickets. If you're a patron of the podcast, and we know who you guys are, thank you very much for always supporting the pod. Ang tickets are at 350 pesos, and each ticket comes with a free plate of Hobby Stadium fried chicken skin. Marami tayong prizes, guys. We've got a 2-pack Funko Pop of Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker from WrestleMania 30.
The two most problematic people right now.
Okay, yes. On top of that, we have a Funko Pop of the final boss, The Rock. So yan yung grand prize natin. Second prize natin, we've got a blaster box of WWE trading cards from our friends from Hobby Stadium. And third prize natin, we've got a t-shirt from our friends over at Everybody's Toys and Collectibles. Tapos may surprise prizes pa tayo for those who will show up. Oh,
Yeah.
Parang home shopping network. But wait, there's more.
There's
So,
more.
come in costume tomorrow kung tuloy yung event natin. Malalaman natin siguro by lunchtime kung huhupa man tong ulan. Mag-a-announce kami on all of our social media pages. So, we hope to see you there. It's at Hobby Stadium. Alam niyo na by now kung nasan yun, guys. It's at E-Road Corner, Doña Hemadi. 7 p.m. tomorrow. Again, come in costume. It'll be our Halloween event for the Wrestling Podcast. All right, Emil, why don't you run through the patron benefits real quick here?
All right, so you can support the podcast through two ways. It's at Patreon and Gank. It's patreon.com/wrestling podcast and Gank now. .com/wrestling2xpod. The benefits, of course, they are there. If you subscribe to either one of those, the Discord server, the discounts, pasabays when it comes to the service fees, the review content of the weekly wrestling shows, and all that, much more. Again, by subscribing to either one of those, you're supporting the podcast. It is going strong for 10 years. Again, the link is right there below, patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod.
All right, and let's put over WWE on Blast TV.
Did you know that WWE only has around possibly the end of the year on Blast TV? Kasi I think aambunan tayo ng Netflix. Parang aambunan tayo eh. So, habang wala pa yun, when that ever comes in next year, please do watch WWE on Blast TV. No matter what you watch on Blast TV, there's a whole lot of content that you can check out on the platform because it is free for Converge and Globe at Home subscribers, and as well for those with PLDT Home Stream TV. Everyone else is at 179 pesos a month to access it, but it is super great. It's a great deal. May WNBA na nag-conclude lang the other day. Merong ibang sports as well, a bunch of other movies and TV shows that you can find there, and it's all for free if you are subscribed to one of those internet service providers. Go check it out, www.blasttv.ph.
All right,
I'm gonna miss the commercials when it's
but Emil,
bakit mawala ka na ba sa Blast TV after mawala ng WWE?
Ikaw naman, Emil, niiwan mo sa ere si Mr. Ovation, malulungkot siya. Sige, patutugin na lang yan, music ng Incognito. Tama na po. Okay, let's talk about some wrestling stuff here. And we're going to start with a piece of news that we don't want to talk about, and that is Samantha Irvin leaving WWE. So, in-announce niya just hours before Monday Night Raw this week na nag-resign na siya, that she is left and she's moving on to other projects. So, from all accounts, from Samantha herself and even yung mga lumabas na reports in the days since her announcement, parang wala namang bad blood, wala namang sama ng loob kung bakit siya umalis. In fact, Samantha herself clarified on Twitter that she had informed WWE months ahead that she was indeed planning to resign, and that yung reasons daw reportedly based on yung mga bali-balita is that she wants to pursue outside projects, and being on the road with WWE has taken time away from her and her daughter. So, yun, a combination of all those factors led to her wanting to leave the company. Syempre, I'm maybe it's a factor din na wala na rin si Ricochet sa WWE, diba? So, less time with her fiance. So, yun, syempre maraming nalulungkot because Samantha Irvin has been one of the best finds in terms of talent that the WWE has had in quite a while. And si Mark Henry yung nakapag-discover kay Samantha Irvin, and I dare say that watching WWE or being part of its mga PLEs has been so much fun just because of the ring announcing intros that she's innovated over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think she is out there to, I think she uses the WWE stint to garner clout. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Because if you have big dreams, if you have big ambitions, then you got to do everything you got to do to get to that. And if it means using WWE as a stepping stone for other things, like if you're not a wrestler, diba? Or if you're just part of the broadcast team, then by all means, go for it. You don't have to you don't have to dedicate your entire working career or working years to the WWE if that's not you, diba? That's totally fine. I think she mentioned a while back that yung sexy hump day dumps niya, yung pictures niya, she was doing that to test something and to like achieve more attention, however you want to look at that. And I think it works. I think because of WWE, because of how she did her work, because of also how she looks, let's be honest, she is a much bigger name in the entertainment world now than she was when she started. Whenever she started, NXT ba or na?
Yeah, parang. But that was just 2 years ago. She's only been in the game for 2 years.
Yeah. So she really rocket strapped herself, and I approve that. I appreciate that. You got to do what you got to do for the bag, and if your calling isn't pro wrestling the whole time, then that's totally fine. We shouldn't knock her for that, and also we shouldn't knock it if she does choose to decide to go to AEW and be whatever, a ring announcer or a broadcast member there, because she is also free to go wherever she wants. She's free to work wherever she wants to work. If they want to work there, then you should not take it against her.
Yeah, definitely will miss Samantha Irvin. I feel like nakakuha siya ng malaking offer to do something else. That's why biglaan yung pagalis niya. But it's also a good thing na it was a mutual decision naman on her in WWE na they would part ways. Kasi it leaves then that opening na at some point in the future, di ba? Malay mo bumalik din siya. So just like with Cathy Kelly, Lillian Garcia. So there's always a chance na this is not the last that we would see of Samantha Irvin in WWE. But right now, I think she is out there exploring other opportunities for work, and God bless her, and well wishes to her future endeavors.
Yeah. You mentioned Lillian Garcia, Emil. She made her WWE return as well this past week, and she looks to be filling in this role for Samantha Irvin as the Raw ring announcer again. So what a blast from the past, especially for kaming mga ruthless aggression era babies who grew up listening to Lillian Garcia's intros. To hear her again now that we're all adults, diba? What did you think about that, Ro?
Okay lang naman. I kind of understand why people didn't really like Lillian Garcia by the end. She did kind of botch again. I don't want to hold it against her because that's really tough. Her job is really tough. Pero she is kind of rusty, and I could have done with a reshuffling instead of the ring announcers. Like I don't understand why Mike Rome is stuck down in NXT unless he wanted that, that's what he wanted. But Lillian doesn't quite do much for me nowadays, unfortunately, I must say. I appreciate her. I appreciate that she still has a job if she likes to do that job with WWE. But at the same time, it doesn't move the needle personally on my end.
I think Lillian did good on her first night back. Pero I think they're still gonna find someone else to fill that role. So parang ano lang siya, temporary lang muna siya. Kasi medyo biglaan din kasi yung pag-alis ni Samantha Irvin. So, but
no,
yeah, her feeling, I think that's
no, they didn't fly her in because Samantha was leaving this Monday. They were planning this ahead.
Okay.
Hindi natin alam, diba? Di natin alam ano yung nasa mga pinag-uusapan ni na Michael Cole and Triple H when they make these big decisions for the show. But from the looks of things, mukhang si Lillian Garcia talaga yung papalit kay Samantha Irvin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if that's the case, then I'm okay with it as well. Sanay na ako with Lillian Garcia. Also, nung naging wrestling fan ako, siya rin yung it's her and Justin Roberts, yung wrestling ring announcer. So I'm okay with it. I'm sure yung mga batches niya ngayon lang yun kasi syempre kakabalik niya lang. So I'm sure she's gonna do great in her assignment as the ring announcer.
Eto sabi ni Albert from the YouTube video, Lillian in John Cena's final run is good, I guess. Yeah, actually a good point, diba? Kasi John Cena is going on this farewell run, and it would be nice to have Lillian Garcia announce him again.
Yeah, okay naman. I think it all lined up then.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the highlights from Monday Night Raw. But first, let's hear a quick word from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, let's talk about Monday Night Raw, and we're going to start with the end, which is Braun Breaker regaining the Intercontinental Championship. So he's now a two-time IC champ, and that is also thanks to the interference of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. So ito na, they've already established kung paano maibabalik si Jey Uso into the Bloodline cinema or drama or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. I liked it. I understand why people are mad. They don't like quick title changes, but it made sense. And all I want is for things to make sense. And they did a good job of setting everything up. They did a good job of foreshadowing yung interference ng ni Solo and ni Jacob and the rest of the other bloodline from the SmackDown confrontation. So it all makes sense. I understand that the response it got was the response they intended to provoke. It's good that worked, but it's also kind of annoying that people keep falling for these things.
I mean, I did kind of called it when I said Jey Uso's reign wasn't going to be that long, because the timeline suggests that at some point in the next month, the bloodline will interfere in his business, because that's the way now he's gonna get sucked back into the bloodline story. And sometimes predictable is okay as long as it makes sense to the story, and that's exactly what happened here. Kasi yun na nga.
Hindi ka napikon, Emil, kasi diba favorite mo si Solo Sikoa, tapos nagagalit ka pag yung mga favorite mo hindi na champion.
Because it makes sense. That's the reason why I'm not.
Tanong ko, nagalit ka ba?
No. I totally get what they were trying to do. I totally get what they were trying to do, and I totally get that this is the direction this story is heading. That's why I'm okay with it, and and pampadagdag din sa stats ni Braun, diba? He's now a two-time Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, when you think about it, pag sinabi mo kunwari, 11-time champion si so-and-so, hindi naman nila sinusukat gaano katagal, kahaba yung mga reigns, di ba? Like Randy Orton is a 14-time world champion, but one of those reigns is all of 3 hours.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Diba? Yeah.
So, yun. Anything else you want to mention regarding the Braun and Jey and Bloodline thing?
I just hope that it doesn't lead to batiin na si Jey tsaka si Roman and Jimmy because Solo and Jacob Fatu interfered, diba? Just because the enemy of the enemy is not my friend at this point, or my brothers are not my brothers, but something like that. That would be lazy to me, and I think that would kind of undo yung character work that they've been doing here with Roman and Jimmy and Jey. Which has been really nuanced and detailed. Kasi nobody turns back face or nobody becomes a goody two shoes just because it's convenient for the story. I want them to work out the issues to get to a resolution after the conflict.
Survivor Series is still a good matagal pa, so they still have time. Yeah, they still have time to tell this story of how are they gonna reconnect back again. And yun nga, tama si Ro. I don't want it to be simply, porque tatalo ako, we're all good na. So I have faith naman in Triple H and the way they've been telling this Bloodline story na they're gonna carefully craft this.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's discuss something na maraming nag-comment about it on Twitter, and that is Carlito and that offhand comment he made during a backstage segment, which also involved Io Sky and Kairi Sane. So to set the table, para sa mga hindi nakakaalala, galit na galit yung Damage Control, and then they were confronting Adam Pearce because nakialam sina Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson in their match against Bianca and Jade. In comes Carlito trying to get a World Heavyweight Championship match for Dom. And then, nung umalis sina Kairi and Io, sinabi niya kay Adam Pearce, you gotta learn Chinese, or I gotta learn Chinese. So, in the moment, I'm not gonna lie, I thought of Jin, as in MC Jin from 2004. That was my first reaction, right? And then I saw social media and people were saying that was very racially insensitive for Carlito to say, right?
It was very dumb, and that to me proves na yung vignettes backstage, they're live, they're done live. Apparently these are pre-taped, because if it were, they had so much time to they had so much time to edit that out because it was so stupid. Or do another take, diba? Kasi
Yeah.
that was so dumb. Lance says, and I've seen other people say that yung character ni Carlito is tanga siya. Siya yung bobong kuya sa Judgment Day. But yes, that may be true, but you need to minimize mistakes and unfortunate boo-boos like this, especially when your boss is being hounded by allegations and insinuations that he is a racist, or he at least is racially insensitive by not quote unquote represent or giving enough representation to the minorities, which I do not agree with personally. But as a PR practitioner, the issues are there, and you don't want to add to another. You don't want to add another mistake or controversy to what is already a negative perception of you, and in the same issue, pa, diba? So that's a problem. Doc G's right. As according to all accounts, the part was unscripted. If I were Adam Pearce, I would have said right there the Japanese, diba? And at least given the comeuppance tangang heel, and to avoid.
Nagulat din si Adam Pearce. Parang tanga na talaga ba?
Mukha siya nagulat eh. So I'm sure he wasn't agile enough in the moment to issue the correction kasi he wasn't aware that it would stir up some nasty sentiments. But at the same time, it could have been avoided. It was so dumb, and I think they should apologize for it. By all means, just because it's a relatively tiny issue, doesn't mean it's an issue that it doesn't mean it's not a mistake we have to keep making in 2024.
Yeah, tama si Ro. Tama yung mga sinabi niya na in a vacuum, it may seem to be, a funny segment, Pero in the context of what's happening right now with all the allegations to Triple H and all things that are happening, medyo uncalled for talaga yung comment ni Carlito. Eh. Like, yes, you could say, oh, it's part of his character. He's a dummy. He doesn't know what he's saying. Pero it can also, parang, it's true then, it's uncalled for. Like, why even say that comment? Like, what's the story about it? What's the context aside from him just trying to be funny?
It wasn't so. I get it. He was trying to be funny. It just was unfortunate kasi it would have, if he was aware of what he was doing, it would have he would have known that it would be setting off a bunch of backlash on the internet. Even though whether or not it's true that Damage Control themselves were amused by the line, it's still something that you don't want on your record, on your perception right now.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yun yung thoughts na Ro and Emil on that. Again, just an unfortunate situation all around, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, Adam Pearce got involved as well. Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed made Adam Pearce so mad na ubusan ng boses yung tito nyo. So, they were brawling basically from the jump of Monday Night Raw. And then sabi ni Adam Pearce, did you not consider that I would give you what you want? So here it is, you get your match at Crown Jewel.
I don't know what the end game of Adam Pearce looking so out of control. They make a point to mention it, diba? That Adam Pearce isn't really in control of his show, of his roster.
As opposed to Nick Aldis pa, diba?
Yeah, diba?
Yeah,
does this mean that may pay off siya eventually? Like, I don't know, man. Sana they went with the fact that, Adam Pearce was the guy backing Bronson Reed and him destroying other people.
Okay. Yeah, bigla ko naalala yun. Di ba si Adam Pearce yung parang nag-motivate kay Bronson Reed to do all, hindi naman to do all this, but to, to have that edge na he needs. Pero yun nga yung pinagtataka ko. Like, are they purposely writing Adam Pearce to be this bad and all this to be that good as the GM? Like I said before, sorry, really quick. If I were Adam Pearce, I would demand a huge raise for how stupid I'm being made to look. Yeah. So for sure, it's gonna lead to something between both of them, right?
If you guys are saying na si Adam Pearce pala yung mastermind ni Bronson Reed, wouldn't that make him another heel GM in 2024?
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess. Pero people were, I mean, we have. I mean, right now.
I think we lost Ro. No.
Yeah, we lost her for a bit.
Yeah. Lost Ro for a bit. Let's see kung ma-reconnect siya. To talaga si Kristine patalo eh. Una si Chino, ngayon si Ro. Actually, hindi. Emil, ikaw yung patalo eh. Kasi kinall out mo yung politikong yun eh. Apologize ka rin, man. Yun, Ro's back.
He's back.
Yeah, my videos are catching up.
Yeah, sorry. What did you say? You kind of got lost about a minute or two ago.
Ayun.
Parang
no.
Ala.
Wala siya.
Oh, nagbabadya ulit yung politikong kinall out ni Emil Nate. Mag-alay na nga tayo ng itlog dun sa politikong yun. Pucha naman, Emil eh. Okay, so ang ending basically may match na Seth and Bronson Reed at Crown Jewel, diba? So let's see where this goes. I think it's a star-making vehicle para kay Bronson Reed, diba? To get that Seth Rollins victory as a notch under his belt. I think that's the end game here, to really establish how dangerous Bronson Reed can be. Right. Let's round things out from the Raw side of things with the Wyatt Six going after the Final Testament. So they've been teasing this for the last few weeks. Every time may vignette yung Final Testament or magpapakita si Karrion Kross, merong Wyatt glitch na nagaganap. And then ito na, umatak sila. And then si Paul Ellering yung nakatikim ng mandible claw from Uncle Howdy, while sina Gacy, Loomis, and Eric Rowan went after the rest of the Final Testament.
Yeah, so clear na talaga sa akin na the Wyatt Six are baby faces.
Hindi pa ba clear nung American-made feud?
Hindi pa, medyo for me medyo ano pa sila eh, yung parang nagkataon lang na kinakalaban nila si Chad Gable. But this one definitely they are clear-cut baby faces now with this move. I don't mind this feud at all. I mean, it brings the Final Testament to some relevancy after months of being stuck in an endless feud with the New Day. So good for them, I guess, and good for the Wyatt Six na nakabalik na din sila on Raw after missing for a while after feuding with Chad and American Made.
Ano ngayon kung na-entrench sila for you as baby faces? Ano ngayon, Emil?
Because their earlier vignettes suggest they were gonna be vicious heels.
Yeah, pero
So,
if they're
medyo
baby
naano lang
faces,
sa
like
akin.
what's their purpose? Like why are they wreaking havoc? Why are they attacking
They
all
are-
of these groups?
Sila yung parang some sort of to steal something from the Shield. They are the Hounds of Justice currently on Raw. Now there was some injustice that was done with Karrion Kross interfering in Mrs. Business, and that's why they're attacking them, because
So, ano
sila
sila?
yung parang
Vigilante sila.
parang ganun. Parang yung Final Testament, sila yung BI ngayon sa Raw. And that's why they're taking action by taking them out.
Mhm. Ako yung basa ko dito, para silang yung monstrous conscience of WWE. Or at least of Monday Night Raw. 'Di ba? Na
Sure.
nakikita nila na meron nagaganap na house show. So magpaparamdam sila to let you know that that's not cool, 'di ba? Oh, American Made, you're bullying Alpha Academy, that's not cool. Attack. Or Final Testament, you're breaking tag teams up left and right. Attack. So,
Yeah. Sila yun eh. That's their role. And I feel like they can thrive in a role like that.
sabi ni
Kahit hindi
Albert,
title
sabi ni Albert on YouTube, how's Joe Gacy able to overpower one of the AOP? Aba, hindi ko rin alam, Albert. Siguro nagva-vitamin si Joe Gacy.
I mean, they have superficial powers. I guess.
Superficial powers though?
Fuck. No. I don't know. I forgot the word. What yung word? na
Supernatural
sabi ko.
powers, you mean?
Supernatural yun. Supernatural powers.
I don't
yun.
even think na supernatural na yung Wyatt Six eh. Di ba? Parang
they have-
okay, nananakot sila, pero I don't think they're supernatural at this point.
OP sila. Yun na yung sasabihin ko. OP sila. As when they are together, no one can stop them.
Yeah, I think that's
That's
a
how I
better way
read
of framing yung packaging ng Wyatt Six at this point. All right, we'll take a break, and then pagbalik natin, we'll talk about AEW and NXT. All right, so stick around and catch this message from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. Right, for those of you who are catching tong second half of the live stream, we gotta let you know na sinasabotahe ata itong live stream natin ng politikong kinall out ni Emil Nate. So, hindi ko alam kung mahahanap ni Emil sa puso niya na mag-apologize, no? Pero, nawala ni dalawang co-host namin, tapos pati English ni Emil naapektuhan eh. So, baka ito yung Wyatt 6 moment mo, Emil, pucha. May vignette na lalabas, may glitch.
I'm not gonna apologize for what I said, though. So I'll just leave
Alright.
it at that.
Okay, alright. Oh, yun, Rose back.
There's Bro! He's back!
Oh, kala ko sinabotahe ka na rin eh. Kasi raw, sinabotahe ka. Or sinabotahe si Emil, di ba? Kaya na-affect yung kuryente ni Chino, internet ni Ro. Okay, let's talk about AEW, and we're gonna start with Orange Cassidy having a canon event. So I guess Chuck Taylor is his Uncle Ben, right? What did you think about this?
That was pretty funny. I didn't think they would do the fridging, if you will, in the same episode. Okay, because lumabas si Chuck Taylor backstage, and then at the end of the show, he gets fridged. So interesting. I see what they're trying to do here. They're really trying to tell these big stories, and I think this particular bit is because of RJ City. And
Bakit? Why RJ City?
Siya yung he's in creative.
Okay.
So siya yung, a bunch of people are assigned to different programs, different storylines.
Yeah.
So according to a backstage document, RJ City does the BCC stuff and the Tony Storm stuff. So yeah, they've been really swinging for the fences here. It's really some big emotional beats, and ang sa akin lang masyadong minadali yung pagka-fridge ni Chuck Taylor for Orange Cassidy specifically, right? I think there's no one else here aside from Wheeler Yuta, right? Trent has been MIA since months, diba? For months now, and I feel like they're trying to rush to something. I just don't know what. I appreciate it though. It just everything just felt too quick.
Totoo yung, I agree with what Rose said. Yung doon sa pagmamadali nila. Like they have mahaba pa naman yung takbo ng kwento. Like we just had Brian a few weeks ago, and then now it's Chuck Taylor in what? Only 2 weeks. So, medyo mabilis yung pacing ng story na to, when I think they should slow things down, because this is the biggest storyline right now in AEW. It's funny na rumesbak sila kay Chuck Taylor, pero yung sa stablemate nilang si Mark Briscoe, di mo na nagpakita si Orange tapos si Kyle when the learning tree was interfering in the match.
Hindi, nandun daw sila sa garahe, naabangan nila yung pagdating ni na Mox.
Yeah, that's what I told Bro as well. That logically, yun yung.
But nobody thought that. Okay, wait, hold up. We're waiting for John Moxley in the BCC. Yes, but Chris Jericho also has 2 lackeys that he can bring to the match against our friend. Nobody thought of that.
Yung Kyle O'Reilly nasa likod nanonood lang sa TV.
Oh yeah, in the next segment when they had the Undisputed Kingdom segment, he was watching backstage. Yeah.
I don't want to shit on the writing, on the creative, pero these details are glaring when you realize that WWE has been paying attention to the same details and have been taking advantage of them.
Yep. Diba? Gusto ko yung detail na may Kip Sabian tsaka Action Andretti na nandun sa labas, di ba? Nakikigulo dun sa dun sa garahe. Tapos si Kyle O'Reilly nasa loob nanonood sa TV. So that very trippy because these details did get unnoticed. So si Wheeler Yuta, very interesting yung pag-asta niya during the fridging of Chuck Taylor. Because nung una, like, he seemed like he was into it. Siya pa nga yung naglagay nung steel chair sa leg, di ba? Pero nung nilagay na sa ulo, dun siya medyo nag-alangan. And then when Claudio stomped, parang there was a bit of hesitation, but then he ran out the back with sina Claudio anyway.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff. I don't mind it, but it was just too rushed. Okay, so many things were happening in this moment, in this particular segment, that I feel like it should have been spaced out better. Just because may big event happening next week, because it's Halloween Dynamite, whatever have you. I still feel like there could have been better planning around this. I appreciate what they try to do, really. I appreciate that there are more stories, but I think a big part of why AEW only fans don't like stories is because oftentimes pro wrestling stories aren't executed well, as well as they have been right now for the big ones in WWE. So parang ano eh, parang siyang compliance, and then they're kind of slightly, I don't know if they're intentionally tanking it, but they're tanking it just so they can go back to say, maybe they can go back to saying that okay, we don't need stories, but we just need the good matchups.
Parang this is not our strength in storytelling.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
Speaking of storytelling, they're trying to tell another one with the Young Bucks and Private Party. They're having a match on next week's Dynamite for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Tapos, sinabi ng Private Party, to sweeten the deal, pag talo kami, magdi-disband kami.
Yeah. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore if that's a giveaway. Sometimes, lately, this has been used a lot, and then natutupad nga yung pag-split up or yung pag-leave, diba? So I think the good thing is we honestly can no longer say if this means Private Party's gonna win, but at the same time we do need new tag team champions. The Bucks have been holding the belts hostage now.
Teka, what do you guys think of Private Party themselves putting their own status as a team up for grabs, or on the line rather?
Okay lang, kasi they have been hinting towards the fact that Isaiah Cassidy was a bigger single star, lalo na nung wala si Mark Quinn when he was injured. So they were kind of, it wasn't executed as well as one would hope, pero there have been hints na they want, or they have been thinking about splitting up.
Yeah, may mga in the last few weeks there have been hints, diba? Si Stokely is getting involved.
Yeah.
In their business, and he's telling Isaiah, and he's the bigger star of the team, So tinahin nila yon dito sa story na to, and again, it's not a giveaway na eh. Like at this point, I'm not sure if Private Party is gonna win, because usually pag may mga stipulations sa ganito and an established team said, if we lose, we're gonna break up. Usually that team wins the title. Although the last time it did that, kasi the last time I think in the comments someone said na the last time it was SCU, and they actually did split up when they had the same match stipulation. So I'm not really sure, but I am leaning towards Private Party to win the titles, because they have been telling the story that they are always this close to beating the Young Bucks. So I think they're gonna pull it off next week.
Tapos matatalo sila the following week, tapos magagalit na naman si Emil.
Saying hey to the good brother Gun Tanks in Space, long time local wrestling
What's good?
fan. What's up, man?
Thanks so much for joining us. All right, ito, pag-usapan naman natin si Chris Jericho, who is now the Nueve.
Oh my God.
Emil has feelings. Feelings.
Kasi honestly ako, when I'm watching Dynamite, I just skip Chris Jericho segments lately.
Wow.
Why? You're so good.
And the one time I watched a Chris Jericho match, he won the freaking world title. Sobrang funny, man.
When did Chris Jericho pee in your tea, Emil?
It's just that, hindi ko, I don't know, personal ko lang, hindi ko na talaga trip yung learning tree shtick.
Why not? It's so good.
It's so funny.
It's just me. Like, for some people, yes, maybe it is funny. It is Chris being a parody of himself, but he doesn't really need to be a world champion now.
I mean, it's the Ring of Honor World Championship. That doesn't really mean much nowadays. So I think they kind of failed Mark Briscoe in the championship then. So maybe this is their way of regaining, or re-injecting some value, some prestige into it. I think they're cooking something. I think the more people get pissed at Chris Jericho, the more he's gonna keep pushing your buttons. Kasi alam niya ginagawa niya eh. Like, if you don't want him on your TV, stop reacting to him on social media. Diba? Like, he has so much heat. Like, yes, it's not always the good heat, but Chris Jericho is super old school, and he'll take the hate you're giving him and argue na his job is being done, diba?
Basically like
Or
a politician.
Oh.
Or kung ayaw nyo na kay Chris Jericho, skip nyo lang yung skip nyo lang segments niya, di ba?
Well, nobody will know that you skipped the segment.
The best way ka ba nanonood ng AEW, ha? May mga kapag-track bap na, skinip ni Emil Nate yung segment ni Chris Jericho. Natatrack ba yun sa site na may aso? Or yung site na may unang hirit pagkatapos?
Easily ko lang discover yung unang hirit bit.
It's that same video. If I'm not mistaken,
dude.
that's same one video.
That's new. I saw that and I thought that's new. Hindi na aso.
Hindi na yung aso.
yung nag-archery ng paa.
Oh. Alam na alam eh. Okay, more AEW talk right bago pa tayo lalo madiskaril. Let's talk about that Kyle Fletcher promo from earlier. I actually enjoyed it kasi parang okay sa akin yung unhinged Kyle Fletcher who just shave his head kasi sabi niya na, I want to separate myself from the shadow of Will Ospreay. But I also think na parang ang tagal din ng pasakali niya before he got to the point.
Yeah. I say this having a Australian big brother in Carlo Cano. But it's so hard to take the Australian accent seriously, especially kapag naging Wilson. The only time it worked was with Slade Wilson in Arrow, diba? With Manu Bennett, right? That was the only time I ever felt afraid of an Australian. But Kyle Fletcher, he's Australian, and his voice is whiny. Yes, that's good heel. I guess.
Whiny.
Pero I was kind of zoning out when he was doing his slow monologue, his slow soliloquy about Will Ospreay, and only got hooked in when he started shaving his head and it started going in cuckoo. Diba? So that part was good. Sana it was workshopped to get quicker to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to get rid of that slow monologue. Like, sobrang tagal. I watched that segment live and get to your point, man.
Yeah, the crowd was restless, diba?
Yeah, he did get to his point, and I do like the narrative that he's trying to separate himself from the shadow of Will Ospreay, because if you like, for me, the first time I saw Kyle Fletcher, the first thing that I thought, okay, he looks like Ospreay. He wrestles like
sure.
Ospreay. So this is a way to maybe separate himself from him, and I like it. I like where they are going with this one.
Julian, leave Britney alone.
This is not a Britney Spears moment, sir. It's a Nikki Byrne moment.
Yeah. Other stuff on AEW na you guys want to talk about?
We can move on.
Okay. Our one last bit for me is I find it very weird na ilang weeks na parang walang story si Mariah May. I mean, I guess she has that thing with Anna Jay going on, but it really doesn't feel as important as Kyle Fletcher or like Orange Cassidy or even Chris Jericho, and Mariah May is the freaking world champion.
Yeah. They kind of ran out of stuff after Tony Storm.
It feels like the women's world title is playing secondary to the TBS title. So,
yun pa.
For some reason, yeah.
Yeah, but like you have Mercedes appearing out there in the ring and Mariah May being relegated to a backstage segment.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yun pa.
Do you guys think na magbe-babyface na rin tong Undisputed Kingdom, or do you not trust them even after they hugged Adam Cole?
I don't trust Roddy. Nobody should be trusting Roddy.
Panindigan na nila. You know what? At this point, like, people are saying, they're rushing this. But at this point, you can't go back to being heels again after displaying babyface traits over the last few weeks or so.
To Adam Cole.
Might as well even Undisputed Kingdom. If you noticed, in the past few weeks, they've been like shaking hands with their opponents. They've been acting like babyfaces.
Roddy has been shouting Adam's name still. And you trust that guy?
Yeah, but that's his,
and Roddy is still kind of cuckoo.
Oh.
So I don't know.
It's interesting though. Like they did tease that Kyle O'Reilly would get involved again with the Undisputed Kingdom because they showed him watching the thing. So I do think this will eventually lead to an era reunion at some point. That's what
Yes, yeah. With the Kingdom.
Yeah, with the Kingdom. Yeah.
So lima sila, puro mga ROH guys, just like wreaking havoc and kicking and suplexing people.
Sure.
All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to give you our predictions for NXT Halloween Havoc, which is a PLE that is happening this Monday, Manila time. Okay, again, Monday morning, Manila time, kasi Sunday siya in the US. So stick around for this quick message from our other podcasts on the Pod Network. All right, let's talk about NXT Halloween Havoc. And we've got 5 matches on the card. So let's go through them one by one. Pag-usapan na rin natin yung mga ganap sa NXT leading up to this weekend's PLE. We're going to start with tables, ladders, and scares for the NXT North American Championship. Is it Tony D'Angelo or Oba Femi here?
Probably Tony D. I don't know. I don't see Oba Femi getting the championship back. I think
Pero dinestroy niya yung family.
Yeah, still, but I think he's ready to move up to whatever the next step is, whether it's the NXT Championship or the main roster.
I actually think Oba. Kasi yung pagkaka storytelling nila, the way they're telling Tony D's story, he's overconfident coming into this match. So kung before he got the title, he was afraid, but now just because he won, he's overconfident, and I feel like that's gonna cost him, especially with the family they taken out. So I think Oba will win back his North American Championship, and I think that's it for Tony D's NXT run.
Oh, okay. So you think Tony D is graduating?
Yeah,
that's a good point.
This is his graduation match.
Tagal na rin yan.
Mm-hmm. What about si Oba Femi trying to hit on Nikita Lyons?
Damn.
Sean is wilding again, man.
Oh my. It's someone.
Okay, they're two attractive people. Halos magkaedara naman sila. Nikita Lyons is very hip.
Did somebody recently watch White Chicks? Is this what's happening?
Yeah, kasi diba, for those of you who haven't noticed, parang medyo nasasobrahan ng ebonics tong si Nikita Lyons.
So bagay, they are on CW, and you know what's a trend in CW shows, diba?
Ano bang trend, Emil? Hindi ko alam eh. Ano bang trend?
Ano nga. No, seriously, that's a serious question.
Hindi ko talaga alam.
No, I don't watch CW shows.
Couples. Interracial couples. Okay. That's the thing in CW shows.
I legit did not know that.
Huh, now that you mention it, the Arrowverse is full of interracial couples.
Yeah, so maybe that's why.
Okay. Learned something new from Emil Nate. Who would have thought? All right, let's move on to the Spinner's Choice TBD match for the NXT North American Women's Championship. Sorry, Women's North American Championship. Ang gulo pa rin as of now. It's Kelani Jordan versus one member of Fatal Influence. So who steps up and who is winning the championship?
Probably JC. Siya yung leader.
Di ba sabi nila wala ngang leader?
Is that really true? I mean, so ano yun? They're all a stable. They're a stable of all sidekicks. I don't know. I mean, that's probably right. Like, if one of them wins, if one of them probably wins, they're probably all the champions. I assume that's what's happening.
Oh, so if Freebird, that's what I want to see, because we haven't really seen any stable Freebird the championship since the New Day.
yeah, or Late Cool, diba? They pre-bird a women's championship before. I want Jasmine Nix to step up here. She's the young talent, and I feel like this title is reserved for the younger talents, tong North American Championship. So, but you know what? I think Kilani retains. I mean, yun nga, sabi ni Ro, this team of Fatal Influence, they're just a bunch of sidekicks. I I don't see them winning over Kalani. They're really pushing Kalani Jordan at this point, and I don't see her losing the title just yet.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, we've got an ambulance match between Andre Chase and Ridge Holland.
Let's push Ridge. Why else? Diba? Why else would he be here?
Si Andre Chase mag-graduate na ba?
Feeling ko hindi. I think he's never graduated.
Eh.
He's never graduating.
Yeah, because if you take Chase U to the main roster, you need to take the entire Chase U. Kasi the gimmick is that he is leading a bunch of students, diba? So bakit siya lang ano? So if he moves up, is there going to be a Chase U sa NXT and then there's going to be a Chase U sa main roster, diba? So I unless you're willing to move everyone up in the current Chase U, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Man, I love how we just overthought a gimmick that you basically said was an afterthought 3 years
Oh, yeah.
ago.
Eh, binigyan nila ng effort eh.
Yeah.
Binigyan nila ng effort eh.
To be fair, they did.
Yeah.
I think Andre Chase wins and Ridge goes back to the main roster. That's what I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Ro.
I picked Ridge.
Okay. All right. Yeah, now that you've mentioned yung idea of Chase U, no, as a unit talaga, na you can't split them up, it does make me think what the plans will be. I don't know what Andre Chase would like as well. I'm sure he'd love to have a crack at the main roster, pero ang hirap din kung sobrang attached yung character niya dun sa buong unit, di ba? So,
right, yeah.
But thankfully, that's not our problem, and that is beyond our pay grade. All right, let's talk about the women's tag team match between Julia and Stephanie Vaquer and the team of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. And let's also add this additional question. Kung ano yung magiging papel ni Zaria, whatever Delta's new name is, however it's pronounced in this thing.
I don't know if she is messing with in this particular matchup. It's not clear. It wasn't made clear. But I'm going to pick the foreigners to win this one.
Mm-hmm. Team
Yeah,
International.
I'm also picking the baby faces, Julia and Stephanie, to win this one. And also, same thing. Hindi ko alam kung paano papasok si Zaria dito sa match na to. Eh. So, I don't think it's gonna happen yet at this pay-per-view, but probably on the episode after the pay-per-view. So, the baby faces win.
Yeah, so natanong ko lang yung kay Zaria kasi diba, she appeared at the end of NXT right after the Julia and Stephanie Vaquer match. And for those of you who are watching on Blast TV, na-cut off na yung feed so hindi na nakita yung appearance niya. Apparently, it was not a Blast TV issue. Issue pala siya sa CW kasi somebody in some of these markets cut the broadcast na agad at 10 o'clock hard stop. Eh, may 20 seconds of runtime pa pala si NXT. Kaya hindi na
black eh. Nag-fade to black eh.
Yun, nag-fade to black pa. So, hindi nila alam na, pucha, may lalabas pa pala. So, kaya nagka-aberya. So, for those of you who are watching on Blast TV, hindi kasalanan ni Mr. Ovation. Okay?
Yeah.
So, yun lang.
Lance.
Let's put some respect on Mr. Ovation's name. All right, let's talk about the main event. Finally, Devil's Playground for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams versus Ethan Page.
I'm picking Trick to win this. Yung big speech ni Ethan Page fell flat. Like, the crowd wasn't feeling it. You know?
People are saying that was his best promo yet.
Yeah, it was kind of like his best promo, but it wasn't getting reactions. Kasi biglang napa-shift siya. Okay, he's an asshole, he's a douchebag, but then he's talking about his 17-year career, and then nobody knows how to react to it. Diba? Like, yes, it's nice to see a big name like Ethan Page on NXT, pero he's also spent the past couple of months establishing the fact that he's a douchebag who likes to smile a lot. So I kind of felt bad for him because he really was spitting bars there, pero it wasn't getting really over, diba? And then parang little bro lang siya ni Trick Williams after that. Like, buti sanay ka pala kasi I'm just gonna do that to you all over again. Like, what a damn. God damn, that's cold. I haven't heard the diss track yet.
Ako rin, hindi ko pa
Hindi ko pa
napapakinggan.
narinig.
I hope it's not 50 minutes long.
I don't think it is. God damn. But I'm picking Trick to win here. I think the Ethan Page dalliance on NXT is just about done.
Wow, okay. So main roster na agad si Ethan
sure.
Page.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, same thing
Alright.
here. I'm gonna predict same thing. Trick Williams and then Ethan Page moves up.
Oh,
Like
yabang.
Ethan Page doesn't need it. Ethan Page doesn't need NXT at this point. Like he's already a main roster ready star.
Oh, sige, ito. Since sinabi niyo na Ethan Page is ready for the main roster, who will step up and take his spot? Kasi medyo may value pa rin, di ba? Yung established vet dito sa main event scene ng NXT.
Established vet.
Yeah. Sean Spears?
Well, Sean Spears is injured. Wesley.
Okay.
Wesley should be next in line.
All right.
Should.
Okay, interesting. So those are our predictions for NXT Halloween Havoc. Let us know in the comments kung ano yung predictions ninyo. If you guys have any, send them our way. It's at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok and on Twitter. Everywhere else, it is at Wrestling Podcast. Individually, you can hit us up. It is at EML_Meister, at Roiswar, at Chino Supersized, at Monday Night Rowan, and at _Stan_C. O, bago pa tayo isabotahe nung politikong kinall out ni Emil Nate, let's get to some plugs. Emil, what do you have going on?
Alam naman, please do check out my review of DexCon, Graveyard Shift, and Jam with the Joshis. It's posted on our Patreon page. I think it's free, so anyone can go there and read it. So there.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Ro?
Pusong Pinoy is now happening on November 30th. It's going to be a big event. We will determine the first ever Pusong Pinoy Wrestling Champion between Main Max and Aaron Liwanag. And there's going to be a huge, monumental women's match on the show. So if you are free on the 30th, if you are, it's a month away. But if you are willing to make the time, please go check out and buy tickets from pusowrestling.helixpay.ph. Unmasked may be coming back next week. Just adult life got in the way. A lot of other things happened. So we God willing, magre-record kami bukas bago kami pumunta sa Hobby Stadium.
Bago tayo lahat mawala ng kuryente or bago tayo sabotahin ni ano. On my end, now steaming. We dropped our season finale this past week, so we're going to take a break. Congrats, by the way, to my co-hosts, Kim Mass and Cedric Cheng. They just got engaged while we were all in Japan. So, yun, break muna yun. As for the PBA naman, finals of the Governor's Cup, it starts on Wednesday, TNT versus Ginebra. So, you might catch me at those games when they start on Sunday pala. Sorry, not Wednesday. Sunday yung game 1. Yeah, tapos Wednesday is game 2. Yan. So, kung magkita-kita man tayo sa venue, please come and say hi. All right? Hobby Stadium, sabi ni Ro, for quiz night tomorrow, Friday night. Sana matuloy, pero kung hindi, i-announce namin on social media by noon. Yun yung deadliest deadline namin, whether tuloy o hindi. All right? We got to get out of here. Thank you so much to Babyface producer Jasper and everyone over at the Pod Network for all of their help behind the scenes. And thank you, everyone, for catching another episode of the longest-running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. We appreciate you all. Please stay safe and dry. And if you want to brag about being safe and dry, please keep it to yourself. We do not need to hear it. We do not want to hear it. Donate na lang tayo sa Angat Buhay Foundation. Okay? Para at least nakatulong pa tayo sa ating mga kapwa Pinoy. On behalf of Emil Nate and Ro Moran, as well as Chino Liao and Rowan ASH, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe and stay dry and don't be a dick. Wrestling Podcast out. Bye-bye.
Peace.